Hi, everybody. This is Sarah with Ascended World, bringing you Element 8 of Wonderland's Worthiness Program. Today, our topic is utilization, which I think you already know since you have done your workbook. This, I say this every time. This one's a big one for me. Actually, this one really triggered something in me that my day had created for me, which how perfect is that? I'll read the prompt for us. I am always utilized in a way that matches my most enjoyable, blissful abilities and desires. And I think the key word here is matches. So I think the universe always matches our vibration. So when we're talking about worthiness and being utilized, matching our enjoyable and blissful abilities and desires, I think where we get kind of off track here is when we don't match with our enjoyable, blissful abilities and desires. And I think that comes from that place of, I'm not worthy to match that. I'm not worthy to connect with my enjoyable, blissful abilities and desires. I have I've looked at it in my perspective from I when you come from that place of always sacrificing yourself for others, that's what the universe matches. So it's going to match your sacrifice and deliver you things to always sacrifice yourself for. That's pretty powerful. That's been so in my face the last few days. And I've come to a place where I feel like I'm just giving it all away, just giving it all away because I'm just not worthy. And that's crazy. That's not at all what I want. That's not at all where I'd like to come from. And I feel that it is holding me back in so many areas that I can't even identify. So when we look at identifying what we're matching, I think it's just a question of what's the universe reflecting back to us. What are the things that keep coming up for you that you're being utilized for? Whether it's being of service to other, whether it's sacrificing, whether it's always being last. Some of the other things just being barely good enough. And they're matching where you're coming from, not your enjoyable, blissful abilities and desires. So the key here, in my opinion, is connecting to that, identifying what are your enjoyable and blissful abilities and desires, and then focus on becoming worthy of those that allow you to be utilized and matching that. And that concept right there is so key for so many of the elements that we've come up with, is being able to identify what it is you'd like to be worthy of. And I think that this one is so key in helping us get to that place of that cycle that I talk about how I reflect how I'd like to be utilized, so then I can be utilized in that way. And it's the phrase I was trying to come up with, the last one, is teach people how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. So in that, I connect with my bliss and what is enjoyable for me, and I utilize myself that way. So then others then reflect that back to me, and it just becomes that reinforcing cycle. And then you begin to identify that in others, and it starts that overflow pattern. And it just takes you to a whole new level of how you move through your day, how you create your day, how you interact with people. It's such a, they're all such key facets. But this one, really invoked a lot of anger in me, actually. And of course, once you sit with that, it's, yes, I'm angry with myself because I've been giving it away. I have, it's, I hate to say this because it's never anybody's fault because everything's always perfect, but it's my fault that I'm not being utilized in the way that I'd like to be utilized. It's not the people who are utilizing me or not utilizing me. It's my responsibility. So there's a lot of emotions to look at there. Like I said, anger came up for me. Sadness that I felt so little regard for my blissful and enjoyment, my bliss and enjoyment, that I felt I wasn't worthy enough to be utilized in those ways. And I think that connected back in with not feeling worthy to be here. All the facets, all the elements that's led up to this played a role in being underutilized or utilized for things that don't bring you aren't reflective of your bliss and enjoyment. So this one really ties into pretty much everything that we've already stepped through. And releasing this, like I said, just can bring us up to that whole new level of worthiness and fulfillment. There's just I see so much attached to this, and I see so much leap, so much expansion from this. But the key here is to remember that the universe always matches. So when you find things incongruent, look at what you're sending out to the universe. So let us read our clearing statement for today. I am worthy to remember how to and allow myself to be utilized in the way that matches my most enjoyable, blissful activities and desires. And again, what we're going to do here is we are going to sit back, close our eyes, and connect into the vibration of that statement that I just read as our truth. And we're going to allow all the things that aren't congruent with that to bang up against it, to hit against it, and to come to that vibration of that being its truth instead of what it is, and allow it to shift, change, fall away, whatever serves you in your expanded consciousness. So let's sit back, take that deep breath, open our hearts. And allow that vibration as our truth. One more deep breath. Oh, wow. That was awesome for me. That was incredible. The words that come to my mind are bold. Bold and I hate to use the word empowering because that's such a trendy word right now, but I felt the sense of power in coming to that place of worthiness in my utilization. It's almost like standing on a skyscraper saying, I'm worthy to do this now. And that's incredible. I love it. I love it. These are all just so great. Um, I'm going to come back and do this one again. I love this. So I hope that you're following through with your post video affirmations and that you're using those to incorporate those into your routines, whether it's, meditation or, lucid dreaming or journaling. Journaling is another good one. So today's post video affirmation is, I am worthy to be utilized enjoyably as my authentic self. And that's what I feel like I stepped into in our clearing statement. So thanks so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you on our next element. Thank you.